series here on YouTube. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to ask the question, what's more likely? I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to pose it to you. I'm going to give you my opinion, and then I hope that you'll give me your opinion in the comments. So here's my question for today. What's more likely? Will Dalvin Cook sign with the Miami Dolphins, or will Tua Tagovailoa play 17 games? So let's first address Dalvin Cook.
Like, really serious about making a Super Bowl run. Are you a better football team with or without Dalvin Cook?
He's a free agent, looking for a lot of money. Will the Miami Dolphins give him the offer that he wants? Plus, let's talk about the current running backs in the Miami Dolphins running backs room. Raheem Mostert, I think he's very capable. Jeff Wilson, also very capable. Devon Achane just gets signed. The Dolphins seem to have extremely high hopes and plans for him as well. And then, of course, you got the other running backs in the room. Do you think Dalvin Cook immediately makes Miami Dolphins a better team? Do you think Dalvin Cook automatically makes the Miami Dolphins a Super Bowl contender? That's some of the things I've read about. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they already are a Super Bowl contender. I think the Dolphins running backs room is already capable of going for 4.5 plus yards per carry. The offensive line, on the other hand, will it really matter if the offensive line isn't making holes? Does it matter if it's Dalvin Cook or Raheem Mostert or Devon Achane or Jeff Wilson? Those are questions I think we have to look at before you go and sign a free agent like Dalvin Cook. And then you get the money. Now, I understand people are talking about the taxation. It could be a big plus for Dalvin Cook coming to Miami, but I hope you're taking into account the way the NFL taxation works, or rather the IRS taxation. You get taxed according to the place where you're playing games. So just by being here in South Florida doesn't necessarily mean he's going to save a ton of money. You just, if you're making $10 or $12 million in Minnesota, or you're making $10 or $12 here in South Florida, with all things being equal, you get taxed upon where you play your games. Now understand, the Miami Dolphins play the New York Jets twice. The Miami Dolphins play the Buffalo Bills twice. One game here, one game there. So you have to look at the taxation rates in every single state where he's going to be playing. Obviously, New York is a high tax state. So if he played with the Jets, if he ended up signing with them, 8 of his games are going to be in New York. Here, 8 of his games are going to be in Miami. So there is a definite benefit for him signing here, but it's not as big as everybody would make it out to be. But he still wants to come here. Hometown boy, hometown man at this point. Went to Florida State, grew up in, playing in Miami Central High School. Does he want to play with the Miami Dolphins? So, do you think Dalvin Cook will be signing with the Miami Dolphins? Now, on the other hand, which we're going to compare it to, will Tua Tagovailoa play 17 games this year?
But if Tua can stay healthy, I believe this team is a Super Bowl contender, but picking up that fear option, I think, is to be determined.
Love that, Harry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe so.
Have to take into account, obviously, the fact that his history has shown he has never completed an NFL season. So that's a negative. On the positive side, he's trained very, very hard this year. We've seen some pictures and video of him training, and we see his body type has seemingly morphed into a bigger body. He's put on some weight. He's put on some muscle. He's strengthened his shoulder girdle. So maybe that will help him with the concussions. Don't really know. We will see. The jiu-jitsu. People have different opinions on whether the jiu-jitsu can work. Will that help him maintain body control? Will that help him to learn how to fall? We don't know. Question mark there as well. This is an option year for Tua. So if he performs, he's going to back up the Brinks truck, and he's going to get paid probably $200+ million if he can stay on the field for all 17+ games, hopefully. I say 17 plus because you got 17 in the regular season. Then, of course, you got the playoffs and who knows, possibly the Super Bowl. That kind of stuff here makes a lot of sense. The offensive line, I think, is another negative. The offensive line, from what we've seen, hasn't seemed to have been upgraded all that much. Butch Barry, the new offensive line coach, says he thinks these guys can perform. Chris Greer has said on video, you guys, meaning us, worry more about the offensive line than he does. So obviously, the Miami Dolphins brain trust isn't as worried as much about the offensive line than we are, for whatever reason that is. On top of that, you got Mike McDaniel this year, his second year in the offense. Possibly, and we're all hoping that he has better play calling. He understands how to get Tua in positions that make sense, that he can get rid of the ball so he's not getting hurt. With all that being said, I'd like to know what you think. What's more likely? Dalvin Cook signing with the Miami Dolphins or Tua Tagovailoa playing all 17 plus games of this year's NFL season? It's going to be really interesting to see which one of these plays out. They're not related. I don't think Dalvin Cook is worrying about signing a contract dependent upon Tua playing all 17 games, and Tua playing all 17 games isn't going to have a factor of Dalvin Cook being on the team. These are two completely different issues. I'm asking you guys a direct question, and that direct question is, what's more likely? That's going to be the theme of this show. We're going to have it probably once or twice a week where I pose a question directly to you, the audience. I'm not giving you anything other than the facts on the table, and I want you to tell me. I want you to go ahead and respond. What's more likely? In this show, is Dalvin Cook more likely to sign with the Miami Dolphins than Tua Tagovailoa playing 17 games? It's nothing negative. This is completely up to you. Every single time I do this show, be ready. I'm going to be asking you a question. I'm going to give you some factors. And once I give you those factors, I want you to tell me what you think. I think we can have some fun with this. I think this is something that not many people are doing. I don't want to talk about the same old stuff over and over again. I don't want to get involved with stats. Just pure opinion. That's it. I just want your opinion. Let's talk. I may do this live so I can actually take your opinion and show everybody what you're saying. That would be a great live show. But as we get ready to segue into the new season, today, first day of July, I want to wish you guys all a happy 4th of July. And let's start talking about the 2023 season today. Have a great weekend. Leave me a comment. Fins up.
I do believe that if Tua can stay healthy with the Miami Dolphins, that they are a Super Bowl contender.
Super Bowl
option,
contender?
I think, is to be determined.
Love that, Harry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's my
I
guy.
believe so.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?